Alright, how you doing? My name is Max. Let me give you a little tutorial how to use Sketchbook or Autodesk. The same thing. Just to start off, on the top here you can see to the right, these are your layers. So the one at the bottom right here is your background color. So you can always change that if you want to. The next one is the layer on top of that. So you gotta make sure you click on it if you want to use it. You can add another layer. I believe you only have a certain amount of layers that you could put at a time. So it's not like you're having a limited amount. That's not the case here. But you can always, once you, the way I like to use layers is I'll try a new layer on top of something. And if it doesn't work out, then I just take it out. But once I see it works out, I just merge it with everything else. You could do that. Just so you know, with the layers, you could change the opacity. So the less the percentage is, the more you're gonna see through it. All right. And it gives a good effect for certain things. So just to give you an example here, let's say we take a brush, the synthetic brush. You could click on this right here and you can change the size of the brush. The opacity, as you can see, lets you know how much you're going to be able to see through it. And the paint low also shows how much paint's going to be on the brush. So the more you go to the right, the more paint you're going to have. Alright? And you can start painting here. I like this because it gives it a cool effect, almost like you're drawing. Click on the color here. Alright? You can also use this dropper to kind of copy colors. If, for example, you want to copy a color like this right here. Alright? And you'll be able to do it over again. And you can see how the colors just blend into each other. And you use the opacity pretty low. That's a cool effect about it. It gives you these good blends. So the less opacity, you don't want to have it too much opacity, but you could test it out, see which works for you. And as you can see, as I'm doing here, I'm creating some nice patterns just by blending it in. The longer I paint, you can see the color goes out. So as soon as I touch down and move, you see the colors fade out. So once you get the hang of that, you'll be able to see how to use it. Alright, so that's a cool design right there. Let's say I go to the next and I got a different color here. As you can see, it's not really making a big impact. And the reason why is that I have the opacity low here. You can also change how it works. So you could do darken. Let me see. I'll show you here. Doesn't do much, but you can play around with these different effects. Let's see if it works now. All right, let's try color dodge. See what that does. Oh, already we got a nice cool effect. And see, you could create your own textures like this and your own patterns for backgrounds if you oh, this could be a painting of yours. Just have fun with it. That's really what it comes down to. The more you play with it, the more you realize it could do so many cool things. And the beautiful thing about this, you don't have to clean up a mess afterwards, right? Let's create a different layer. So far we're liking this. Let me just do something cool here so you can see. Okay, so this paintbrush is pretty much solid, as you can see, which kind of gives it a different feel from what you're seeing. And depending on what you want to go for, this might work. See how it pops? Yeah, this might just be something cool to you know. Now you want to do some cool effects to it. Get the smudge tool. I like the smudge tool. And get 4 different type of smudges. Let's try this one, and you'll see what it does. I could fade things out, give it a nice effect. Just try to fade it out into the other painting in the back. This way it looks like it's part of it. This is also good for, you know, therapy. This is a good way to just relax and just let your mind go off, you know. It's a good way to relax. All right, so it's almost like painting with a real thing. I mean, if you really get good at this and you finish your paintings, you could send it to somebody and they probably think it's a real painting. All right. So far I'm liking that. Let's go with a little brush here and we'll put a little color. Let's go. All right. You could just press down, release, and you see how it just like fades out. Remember, this S Pen has a pressure sensitive tip, so you gotta use that. All right. Now you're wondering, what am I painting here? Whatever comes to my head. We could say this is abstract. Nothing that I planned out. This is just happening as we're talking. And I'm really just trying to do this to show you, as I'm painting, you know, how fun it is and what am I thinking, what am I doing. All right. So, just some cool effects you could do. You could add another layer, and let's say this one could be overlay. Let's try to airbrush, and this gives it texture. If you notice, there's 2 different airbrushes. The one with a tip up is releasing more paint, right? Now when you press down, you kinda actually you're releasing more paint when you press down. When you press up, is more, it's closed, because you're pushing down on the spring. So then As you do that, you're opening up the valve. So I had to correct myself there, but let's try that. So we're gonna do the one pressing down that's more. I'm gonna try, actually let's put in more. Okay, see how big it is now? So let's get cool color here. All right, as you can see, we got some cool effects here. Now let's try bringing this down, and you can see already gives us some certain effect there. You could use these brushes down here, the textures, they're pretty cool. Even these weird shapes, and as you can see, they give you some nice textures. This is almost like water painting here. These splatters, I like them. They're pretty cool. Let's see. All right, looks like, okay, we got another layer here, so let's go. All right, so I'm gonna use the blend here. Actually, looks like it's a little frozen, but all right. I mean the smudge tool. I'm gonna smudge this out. This way, it fades into that cloud in the back. Just let that pen flow, and you can see you could create some cool effects here. Don't ask me what this is, I have no idea. Now we're gonna merge everything. All right, we're gonna leave it at that. And that's our little lesson for today, abstract painting. Please subscribe and hope to see you at the next painting. Thank you.